skip this intro. Okay, can we collectively agree as a society to stop going to cabins in the woods? Be it for a party, be it for, oh, we got to get away from the city. Nothing ever good happens at a cabin in the woods. I don't think I've ever seen a movie where we went into the woods and things went just peachy. That's where we start out in a newly released movie, Keeper. Okay, so that trope aside, it's an Osgood Perkins movie. So you know this horror is going to be artsy. There's going to be lots of shots of the woods. There's going to be lots of shots of streams running with ominous music playing over it. And you know the horror really isn't going to kick in until the last half hour of the movie. But the guy made Longlegs, so I'm willing to give him the benefit of the doubt. Also, if you're a character in a horror movie, or even if you're just a regular person in real life, and somebody keeps pushing you to eat a piece of cake, like if they're like, try this chocolate cake, and you're like, no, I hate chocolate cake, and they're really down your throat like, I think you should really have a slice of this chocolate cake. Here's a quick and easy tip. Don't eat that fucking cake. There's something wrong with that cake. There's a reason why they want you to take a bite of that cake. It's like Snow White, where, you know, nobody's asking for an apple, and she's like, try this, and she's like, okay, and you bite it. Don't eat that cake. There's something in that cake. And in this movie, there's definitely something in that cake, like drugs or a shitload of mushrooms or something. And it's not like the boyfriend character trying to give her this cake is especially persuasive. I don't know what it is, but the moment I saw this guy, he has the douchiest haircut I've ever seen. And I was just like, oh, you can't trust that haircut. And then his cousin shows up at the cabin and he has an equally douchey haircut. And I'm like, what the fuck is going on with these two with their douchey haircuts? Like, as soon as you look at them, you don't trust these people. And it's not like I'm some sort of Sherlock Holmes, like I can figure out these things. It takes a full hour, in my mind, for anything to get interesting in this movie. They're just chilling around a cabin for an hour. You're waiting for that last half hour, like, this better pay off. And when the twist/moment comes, it's worth it. It becomes very like David Lynch all of a sudden. I got like I started thinking of Lost Highway or something like that. There's just definitely people who start showing up. You're like, okay, who the fuck is it? Who are these people? The acting in this is good. The decisions the characters make are dumb, and I do hate that. But it's that last part of the movie that gets so weird that I find very entertaining. Like, if you are interested in seeing weird sort of mime ghosts and decapitated vampire heads rising up out of jars of honey, it gets strange. If that's the kind of horror that's up your alley, then I recommend the movie for you. But I kind of think you should wait for wherever it winds up streaming, because you should at least be able to drink as much wine as the main character does in this movie so that you can get through that first hour and get to the entertaining part. Let's talk about Predator: Badlands. It just came out. In my mind, Predator movies and Alien movies are like the pizza of the cinema world. No matter how shitty one may be, I'm looking at you, AVP2, it's still pretty good. You still are going to enjoy it. It's like you love monsters and you love them fucking people up. And there's there's a lot of that in this movie. All right, so it's a simple setup for this movie. You've got a little bro predator. He's the runt of the family. He wants to go on a big bad hunt to impress both his older brother and his daddy predator, who thinks he isn't anything. But the daddy predator's not having it. He just wants to kill this guy outright. The brother defends him. Things go sideways. And that's how the little bro predator ends up flying off to this planet, which is like a death planet. Everything there can kill you. The fucking trees are handsier than anything out of the Evil Dead. There's grass that's made of razor blades. There's these weeds that shoot poison darts at you. Everything there wants to kill you on this death planet. And he's there to go find some big bad monster to cut its fucking head off and bring it back to his home planet, get revenge on his dad. In fact, the only thing that's good on this death planet is he happens to run into a cut-in-half android played by Elle Fanning. And shockingly, those two like get along pretty well. Like, you'd think a guy, an alien race who's designed just to kill fuckers wouldn't get along with anybody. So, okay, so why is this android on this planet? Well, it's been shipped out by the Aliens Corporation. You remember Weyland Yutani? They're like the black rock of space. Apparently, they're everywhere. And there's something on that planet that they want, but whatever that thing they wanted fucked her up pretty good and left her cut in half hanging in a tree. So the whole time on this planet, they're trekking along. The android girl does most of the talking, obviously. Predator doesn't have much to say. He's mopey, you know, his brother is heavy on his mind. But don't get it twisted. This is not a therapy session movie. It's a Predator movie. There's lots of monsters and action along the way. This movie is packed to the gills with action. Like, they will give you a quick minute of them like, oh, let me talk about my Predator feelings. And then bang, right into a giant, you know, tree starfish looking fucking thing that they got to go murder. And it turns out the android girl, you know, she was created with like a sister robot. There's twins and they're looking for each other. The only problem is that this sister robot has her own agenda and she's not going to let some fucking predator mess it up. What I'm giving you here is a really broad outline because I don't want to give you any spoilers for this. I promise you, this movie has action. It has revenge. It has good characters. It has good dialogue. It's like, who would have thought this out of a Predator movie? But apparently the director of this directed Predator Prey. He had something to do with the animated Predator movie, which I think I talked about a month ago. So he's this guy who's like, Predator is his world, and he's doing a really good job at cranking out these movies. So keep it up. Data analyzing robot youth life form. D.A.R.Y.L. That's what we're going to talk about for the Throwback movie. So 2 seconds into this movie, we're thrown into a car running away from a helicopter that's chasing him through the mountains. Mystery man's driving a Monte Carlo. He dumps D.A.R.Y.L. off into the woods and then proceeds to yeet himself off of a mountain cliff into a river. You don't know what's going on. And neither does poor D.A.R.Y.L. He doesn't remember anything. He's wandering around the woods. There's this old couple who finds him, and they immediately like take him to an orphanage because I guess they're not as good as Superman's parents. They don't want no kids. They're just like, yep, nice to know you, dropping you off. Bye. So he's in the orphanage, and everybody who meets D.A.R.Y.L. immediately picks up on how smart he is. He's a robot. They don't know that. So he's like this super genius at everything he does. And he gets adopted almost immediately. He's off with this new family. He makes friends with this kid named Turtle immediately. And what do? As soon as they find this super smart, talented kid, they immediately use him to rig a little league baseball game, which you would do with a genius, right? So all of this is very 80s. It's very charming. It's from another time. D.A.R.Y.L. is literally 80s AI. The Army created him. But the Army essentially doesn't want a bunch of cyborg little kids running around. The Army wants soldiers. So they'll do anything to get him back and anything to destroy him. But Turtle's not going to let that happen. So we got car chases, cop crashes, shotguns through the windshield. We got kids stealing fighter jets. This movie kind of has it all for an 80s movie. Yes, the ending is a little bit janky. I kind of got the impression while watching it that maybe the budget ran out at the end and they were just like, we got to wrap this up somehow. But overall, it's a big old slice of like kind of heartwarming 80s kids movies. It's not going to be as good as Flight of the Navigator. It's not as good as like the Goonies. It's not as well known, but it's in the running for it. It's at the lower end, but it's the kind of movie where if you've never even heard of D.A.R.Y.L, you should definitely check it out. And this, obviously, this is a special edition version of it. It comes stacked with bonus features I haven't even got into yet. There's like a whole hour and 10-minute making of that I didn't even get around to yet. So if you're the type of person who loves the 80s and needs a quick hit to throw you back to when you were 10 years old, D.A.R.Y.L's your answer. Hey, thanks for coming by. Thanks for watching Quiet Corner TV, Red Hood Movie Reviews. You keep coming back, I'll keep watching, and I'll keep talking. Talk to you later.